What I really want is some way to be able to see the space of the companies, the industry areas, the areas of research from a bird's eye view. So I'm thinking about a map of AI companies, and maybe they're organized by their area or their segment or various categories or ways of classifying what they do. So I'm just going to try and build a proof of concept for that, and I feel like I have all the tools I need to do it. So let's see how far I get. So first thing is, I need a source of information. I want to get a list of companies, AI companies, and I want to be able to classify them and get some descriptive tags of each one of them, and then I'm going to use a visualization tool like Sigma.js, which is my favorite graphing library in JavaScript. I can then use that to build a visualization, and that will be a proof of concept, I think, and then it will be a case of adding more companies, adding more ways to organize it and visualize it. And of course I'm going to be using AI itself to help me extract the information I need about those companies in order to build the visualization. So what I've already done is I found a source of information, a list of AI companies that is going to give me enough of an example dataset to work with. So I found Forbes.com's top 50 AI companies to watch. So I've had a little look through this. It's a pretty questionable design, I'll give them that, but the information is solid. We've got a short paragraph about each company, we've got funding and valuation, which is nice, all in a really structured way. I might be able to pull that out and use that as in my visualization somehow. But the key thing is, I want to be able to, from each of these paragraphs about the company, I want to extract a few tags, like for example this one, what's it about? Cresta, self-driving. So I want to be able to say that this is about self-driving, or this is about vehicles. Crowd AI, what's this about? It's about visual data. So maybe this is about data collection or computer vision. That'll give me the high-level categories that I need to build my map. So what I've done is I've simply just grabbed all of this whole page, I've copied and pasted it all into a text file here, and I've done a very little bit of formatting. It took me like 1 minute to just get this into the right shape. So I've just got each one of these paragraphs separated by these 3 lines. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this tool that we've been developing at Grounded AI. It's called Open Playground, and I'm going to try and use this to demonstrate the ability to extract the information I need from each of those blobs of text, and then to actually run that preset against all 50 of those descriptive paragraphs, and that's going to give me the structured data I need to then start working on my visualization. So what I can do here is upload this dataset that I've just created. So let's call it Forbes top 50 AI companies. And the file is wherever I've put it, Forbes top 50 AI. So that's uploaded and I can look at it, and these are this should have 50 rows in it. Looks like it does. So now I can start bringing those records into my playground and trying to find a way to extract the information I need. So I can do insert record, choose the first one. And so let's try Cohere's command model. So this might take a bit of experimentation, but let's say I want the company name. I want a short summary of the product or service focus, and what I really want is a one-word industry or application area. So if I say extract the company name, product, service, focus, and industry, application area, and it's going to give me something, and what I'm going to have to do is correct that and help give it better examples of what I'm looking for. So this one, because of the way the page is, you don't actually get the company name in a structured way. That's all part of the image. So I actually need to extract the company name from these paragraphs as well. And it looks like this is somewhat worked. So Abnormal Security is the name of this AI company. So I want this in a more structured way. So I'm going to say company name. I want that like that. Product, service, focus is indeed business email compromise attacks, I suppose. Abnormal security, software targets these attacks, so I think that's fine. And this is nonsense, don't need that. And let's say the industry or application area is cybersecurity. Let's just say cybersecurity. So that's an example of an output I would be very satisfied with. So let's extend our prompt, add the next record in, give this command statement. I'm not sure how necessary this is, but let's go with it and hit suggest. So this one, AMP's robot, so its company name is AMP. Product or service focus, robotic software and hardware that autonomously identifies and sorts recyclable materials. Company caters to recycling centers offering robotics. So I think this is great and correct. Now it said the industry and application is cybersecurity. That's not right. Let's say it's like it says here, waste management. I think that. And also it's carried on and started trying to create another record. So I'm going to create a stop sequence for these 3 dashes, so it should stop there. Right. So I'm going to carry on and give another. I'm going to run this process for another couple of examples maybe, and hopefully it should start performing quite reliably. I'm thinking it's looking fairly promising so far. And then once we have that, then we can save that as a preset, run it on the whole data set of 50, and hopefully that will give us certainly a good company name and industry application area, which is the main thing I want to plot on my map. So let's go for the third record. I really want to make this editor nicer. Needs a better font for a start. So it's Arise AI. So far this has got the company name every time, so I'm not concerned about that. Real-time analytics platform, blah blah blah, guardrails for deployed AI. Let's just confirm that. Yeah, this is literally what it says there, so that's good. And then the industry application area is AI, which isn't really helpful to me. What could the... maybe AI safety? So far, the industry or application area has been the weakness of this approach. So let's see if... because it might be that I'm asking it to do too much here. It could be I just ask for the company name and industry application area, and that might perform better, but I'm seeing if I can get everything I need in one hit here. So it looks like this one's about a company called Atomwise. I'm seeing disease and drugs, so I'm thinking this should be drug discovery or something like that. Let's hit it. So it gets the company name, it gets... yeah, the product or service description is good, and industry application area is life sciences, which I think is pretty fair. I do want this with a capital. I think one more example, and then I'm gonna save that preset and we'll run with it. So I've got to be careful I'm not making this prompt too long though, because these models have a limit of 2,000 or so tokens, and it will complain at me if I go above that. I wonder if I can do one more, or maybe I should let's just roll with this and we'll take what we get. We can always improve it in future. So now what I need to do is turn this into a preset, turn it into a template that I can use to run for all of my 50 examples. So the way I do that is I insert a placeholder for this is where any new record that I want to insert is going to go, and then I'm going to finish the rest of the prompt. So like that, and that should be all. I've got all my settings that I've just used. I didn't play with these at all. A low temperature is good for this use case, I think, because this is basically the how creative the text will be, and we don't want creativity, we just want accuracy. We want it to extract something which is very in line with what is being said, so we don't need creativity. Max tokens is how long the response is. I think the response length has been fine, hasn't been too short, and the stop sequence is stopping it from going too long, so this is all fine. Now I'm going to save my preset. Let's say extract company information. Save. I should now have that in my presets, and now let's run it. So I can create a run, and my data set is my top 50 AI companies, and my preset is the one I just created, extract company information. So now, if the gods are good, that will run, and we'll have some half decent results to play with. You can see it's running. Alright, so let's check it out. So these first few records will be the examples that I actually gave it, so I'm expecting them to all be the same. And yeah, so I've got waste management for the second one, AI safety. Oh, unfortunately, hold on a minute. This one should have been a Atomwise should have been the life sciences one, but it's exactly the same as the one above, which is very disappointing. What about this one? So this one's different, this one's better. Bearings, correct. This one looks correct to me. Canvas. Yeah, canvas. And it's for construction. Is it for construction? Yeah, it is for construction. So I think, yeah, we've got one that's gone awry. That could be an error in either in the AI model, or it could be an error in it could be a bug in our software for Open Playground. Hard to say at this point, but I think I'm fairly confident actually looking at these that a lot of them are pretty good. So we've got Cresta. Actually no, Cresta. It's saying it's about life sciences, when it should be AI powered customer service, which is correct. Crowd AI, this is Crowd AI. And again, it's the industry application area that it's failing at. So maybe I should try and just separate that out into a separate step, because the company name and the description seems to be doing pretty well. So let's try that. I could also try a different model. Let's run the same thing on this other Cohere model, and maybe I'll turn the temperature to 0. I'll save that preset. Extract company information 2. So we'll run that, see if that's any different, and then I might try a different prompt to try and extract the industry or application area in a separate way. And then we'll just go with whatever we have and get on to creating the map. Okay, so this one, it's got the fourth one right. It's got life sciences for the fourth one. Actually, we have a feature for this. I can select both of these and do compare, and we can see the differences in line. Unfortunately, I don't have them highlighted as I did previously, so that's an improvement to make. But so that's the same. Oh no, this is all just the prompt. Okay, no, here we go. So that's the same. That's the same. That's the same. Yeah, and then this is the new one, and this has got it right. Atomwise is life sciences, not AI safety. So that's great. This one's gone for maritime shipping, and this one's gone for ocean-bound cargo shipments, which is more specific. I like this broader one. Canvas for construction, that's the same. CRM, yeah, that's right. Customer resource management. So it looks like our new preset with the different model is working pretty much perfectly. So I'm really liking the results there. Might just look at a couple more, and then I'm going to export those and move on to the visualization. Industry application area of AI is kind of not as descriptive as I'd like. Data robot says life sciences. Now that's not, I know that's not right. Well, I can see the confusion because it mentions how Data Robot has helped with COVID-19. But on the whole, deep map, yeah, that's about self-driving. On the whole, it's looking pretty good. Okay, we'll go with those results. So we've just automated the extraction of that information from 50 examples, which I'm pretty happy about. Could theoretically do that from that same thing on thousands. So that's pretty exciting. So now I'm going to export those results. We've extracted our information, and I have the file downloaded. So now it's time to write a Python script to extract those pieces of information and get them into a data structure that I can use to start working on my visualization. So I'm going to need to create a repo for this. So let's create a repo. Let's call it AI landscape. And now I'm going to open that up in my VS Code. AI landscape. So first step is I'm going to be using Python to extract information from the document. So I'm going to create a little Python virtual environment, as I always do. Activate that, source and bin activate. So I'm going to create a folder called data where I'm going to put the file that I just downloaded from Open Playground. So if I grab that from my documents, put that in my folder here, and let's just check it's looking right. So yeah, and these are the pieces I need to extract from this file. So let's create a new file, call it main.py, and I'm going to be using a regex to extract this information. So first thing, I'm going to import that import file with the data. So it's going to be data. Let's grab this so now I should be able to see that that data has been read in. There we go. So now create regexes to extract, well, company name, product, service focus, and industry application area. Yep. So Copilot's giving me what I hope will be good suggestions, but let's go and check this out on I like to use regex 101. This is not the website I remember. Regex 101. Yeah, this is the one. So let's grab this as an example. So Copilot reckons that this will do, and indeed it does. What about the second one? Does that grab everything I need? No. It's because we need to escape this slash. Now it does. So they're like that. And finally, this one should do the tricks well, and it does. So there we go. Create a list of dictionaries. Sounds great. So the split is going to be like that. Wait, let's say so entries is data, split that, and let's trim them as well. So entries equals, yeah, e.strip. And I'm just going to print them to see that that looks good. It's got some empties in there, so that should take care of that. So the length should be 50. So let's confirm that. 50. So that seems like it must be working. So now let's do it. So for each entry in that list, get the information, and now I just let's just print the first one to see that that's working as expected. So the regex doesn't seem to be working. None type, there's no attribute group. Find all. I believe this to work. Alright, let's debug this. Oh wow. Alright, so that's worked. So you simply... Oh, it should always be 0 then. So so where has that failed? Let's try this one. Print that. No errors there. I wonder if we have an entry where this hasn't worked. It's hidden in there somewhere. Yeah. So what we should do is try, or yeah, let's try accept, and then I want to see that example, but then let's just leave it as none. No application area found for Commodore Health. Komodo. Komodo Health. Yeah, it hasn't. It hasn't extracted the... Oh, I see. I think this is because our preset was... Our max tokens was too short, because it spent them all on creating this description, so I should increase the max tokens on my preset. Alright, for now we'll just have them as none. That's fine. So let's see what we've got. Looks pretty good. Company name. Let's have those a bit more Cody. Industry. Yep, looks good. Very pleased with that. So now we can move on to the visualization. So I'm just going to export that in a structure. Now, how to do this? Okay, no, actually, there's more to do here, because what I want to do is I want to map. I want to build a graph where the company names map to their industry. So say get list of industries. Yep. So I print industries. So we've got industries, data science, cloud computing. These on the whole look fairly nice. Agriculture, defense, legal. Very good list of industries and application areas here, I'd say. So, since this is going to, when I say graph, I mean network. So the industries are going to be nodes in the network, and the companies are going to be nodes which connect to the industries. So I'm gonna now create my, let's say my graph. It's gonna have nodes and edges. Now, yeah, create a node for each industry is what I want to do. So I want my, now I know the graph visualization software I'm going to use likes to have a data structure where you have the key, essentially the ID, label, yes, and it likes to have the visual attributes like the coordinates and the size and the color in an attributes dictionary. So, and let's have this as I need to import random, and this is going to be a random int, and we're going to ultimately use an automatic layout algorithm, but we're just going to initialize it with randomness for now. So that should be cool. And now let's have now we want to create a node for each company. Looks good. Oh yeah, you could have the key as the company name. So here we could do the same. Oh, it is. I is industry. That's a bit confusing. Normally it's obviously a number. Industry. Company. Okay. Now the edges. Of course, Copilot's got the idea here. It's making my job very easy. Yeah, that's what we want. Now, a company could have more than one industry application area, but for now, I think we've just assumed it's always one thing. Yeah, we haven't done any splitting. Eventually this will maybe be a comma delimited list. So, but that's future. This is just proof of concept. So, source target attributes, that looks pretty good. So now, I'm going to export that as JSON. Export graph JSON. Data graph. That should be the ticket. Let's run it. Python. You come up with so many names for things when you do typos. Got an error here. Oh, with random int you need to specify, I think, a minimum max. So let's say 100. Random int is missing 2 required positional arguments. I have 2 positional arguments. Oh. Good. So here we go. So we've got our nodes, and ultimately I'm going to have the industries and the companies as a different color. But for now, this will be enough to make sure that everything's working, and we can iterate on pretty later. So now I'm going to get my JavaScript stack set up where I can use Sigma.js to feed in this JSON file and render it as a graph in the browser. So I'm going to go with a stack which I am very familiar with, and I'm going to use Vite. So I should have this already in my history. Yeah, I'm going to create a a folder graph viewer, and I'm gonna get that set up with vanilla TypeScript. So I can now run npm install in there. There'll be a load of template stuff, which I shouldn't delete until I've seen that it's all working, but I have complete faith, having done this so many times. AI landscape. And we'll just whack a header in there so that we can see it's working. And then we'll get Sigma.js installed. So my preference is to run npm start because it's shorter than npm run dev, so I'm going to change that in package.json. And now let's see, it should be now exactly. So our little web app is working. So now I'm going to install Sigma.js and Graphology, which is a JavaScript graph library. So Sigma doesn't exist, that's because it's not Sigma.js, it's Sigma. Graphology is like the JavaScript equivalent of NetworkX, which is the Python network library commonly used. So that's installed. Now I can get that running by importing. So now I'm gonna have to use some references. So I could go to the documentation, or I could look at a project I've done very recently where I've got this all set up. So I'm just going to do that. I'm going to open up my, let's say, repository here, where I've done essentially the same thing, because I like to use this Sigma.js graphing tool for a lot of things. So let me just copy and paste that, and I'll adapt it. So I'm going to be importing data from, let's say, what's the path? Data graph.json. Yeah, that's where we're at. And in our index, we need a Sigma container. So that'll be that, and then we should, it's a lot I can get rid of there. Not going to have any edge labels, so I can get rid of that. And I think the rest may work as is, so let's see. We should be seeing our visualization running now. Now it won't be pretty, but it should be there. So nothing yet. Sigma container has no height. Okay. So this is a case of getting some style sheets rolling. So styles, style.css, and this is the one our template comes bootstrapped with, and it's better than plain HTML. It's got some fonts and stuff. It does place items in some places, like in the center, which I don't need for this. Now, what I need to add is for the Sigma container, that's got to have height. It's got to have height. Let's just have it. it's just going to take up the whole visual screen. So vertical height 100, width, horizontal width. Is that right? Vertical width. Yeah. There we go. So each one of these is either a company or an industry. So I think that maybe the first thing to do is distinguish them. So maybe we could make them different colors. So let's have, and I also want to be able to see the label. So those are the next jobs. So in my Python script, I'm going to change the color of the industry. Let's have I wonder if Copilot will give us a nice color palette here. In fact, I know that the library Seaborn comes with color palettes. So if I do pip install Seaborn, I can do import Seaborn as SNS, and I can say that the color palette, see if Copilot will help us out. Yeah. So this is giving it of length industries. For now I actually just want it, I just want 2 colors. So does that work as hex? As hex? And this will be color palette 0 and this will be color palette 1. Let's see if that works. Run Python main. Look in my new graph.json and we have black and we have some other color. So I think the industries are in, no, these are the edges, they're in black. We have the industries in one color and companies a different color. That looks good to me. And there we go. Again, we're going to improve these as we go. That's the hardest bit about design, is taking small steps, because it's hard to see the potential when you're looking at something that just doesn't look good. That's the part I find hard. I find it easy to just imagine something nice from nothing, but actually having something on the screen that doesn't look good is a distraction from that vision. Anyway, that's why I rely on just copying other people. So I think now the thing is to start using some of the Graphology layout algorithms, and I also want to do some sizing based on, for example, how many connections there are. Like, are there any industries linked to? Looks like I'm seeing lots of pairs between oh look, so this industry has 2 companies connected to it, and that's the kind of thing I want to see. So I want the label actually. Let's have the label as the next thing. So how do I make that happen? So let's check out the examples. Sigma.js. Looks like I've got one in my history already. I know there are some good ones on Code Sandbox. This is one of the best examples that Sigma.js gives, I think. I like this default behavior. So let's just find in here what they use to show the label. So where do they... It might be that I need to put the label in the attributes folder. Let's look at their example data. Yeah, the label's got to go in the attributes. So put that in there. Put that in there. Run it. Okay, alright, now we have labels. So, I look at the life sciences industry, and I can see, oh, there are lots connected. So, Ezra, Samsara, Atomwise, I remember that one, Genesis Therapeutics. So this is looking pretty promising. I can see that it's getting closer to what I was envisaging. So now let's, I think, maybe do some sizing. I want the industries to be larger, and then we'll get to layout, and that will be a good place to stop this proof of concept. So first of all, the size. So let's say our size range just wants to be somewhere between 5 and 20. And I'm going to create a function which is going to help me map the number of connections that each node has into a size value. So let's say we need a number of connections. So how do I get that? Industry get number. Oh well, we need the edges first. So we've got the edges. Now maybe we go through each node and add the degree. Yeah, add degree, which basically just means the number of connections. Add degree to each node. So for each node, hopefully it's going to look through the edges and see, yeah, how many. So for each node, you get all the edges where that node is involved, and then increment the degree and add that to the attribute. So that's there. And now we want to map the degree to the size of the node. So now I want my function that's going to map, yeah, a range into it's going to map. So I want to give a number. Oh no, yeah, this is what I want. I want to give the value, and I want to give the range that I'm coming from and the range which we are going into. So we want to end up in this range of 5 to 20. So for this we need the min degree and the max degree, and then we'll be able to call map range. Yeah, degree, min degree, max degree, and then size range 0. So I think this is going to give me what I want. So let's run it and see. No errors. Now I'll look at the new JSON file, and it looks like, so for degree 1 we have size of 7.14. For degree 2 we've got 9. Now the life sciences one, that had a lot of connections, so that's got 7 connections and it's got the largest size. So this has worked. There we go. Look at that. It's starting to take shape. It's really nice. These edges are too black, so I'm gonna, if I take out the color that I have in the edges dictionary, I think it will just use the default, which is not, yeah, so a lighter grey, so that's fine with me. And now the last part here is generating a layout which is more helpful and considers more the connections and puts more connected items closer together. So I'm going to go and check out the Graphology documentation. So need Graphology JS. Yes, it is a robust and multi-purpose graph object. let's go. I think the documentation is pretty good. So I know that there are some algorithms for layout somewhere here. Layout. Okay, so I would like to try Force Atlas, which is in my experience the best of the very limited number of choices they have here, so I need to install that. Then we need to import it and follow the instructions. So I'm going to copy this in and we'll go from there. Import Force Atlas. This is the layout stuff, so I need to do that when I already have the graph imported, so that will be here. We'll do layout. So I know that they have a infer settings. This is what I want. This is what I want. This is going to make life very easy. So sensible settings. Alternatively, use the graph's order instead of graph instance. Don't need that. So do I need to do anything else here? Let's see. Has this changed at all? I don't think so. Has it changed? What if I run it for more iterations? No, so I'm not sure whether we need to do anything more here. Oh, do I need to do Force Atlas assign? No. You get the positions. What do you do with the positions? I could manually go through and assign them to each node. Because this doesn't seem to be doing anything. So we're importing the graph. I'm assuming that's all working, and maybe later on somewhere in this logic there's... No, I don't think so. Let's try this approach where you set it up. What's this about? Argument iterations was not provided. What's the type signature of this? Assign takes a graph and a number of iterations. So let's say 1000. Just see if that does anything. This has done something. Look at that. Yeah. So it's pulled each company very close in to its industry. So I want that to be a bit less extreme, but this is the general idea. So but I would like to run that with I'm surprised. Well, maybe I can try this approach. Wait, so I can get the I've got the settings there. How do I assign the settings? You don't. You just do this. Force Atlas graph. So if I log the graph there, let's see what the sensible settings it suggests are. Gravity 0.05. So what about if I set those settings to different? Let's say the gravity equals 10. No difference. What about if I set the positions like that? No difference. It's Force Atlas.assign that it wants to do, but this doesn't take a settings object. I'm going to try this this web worker approach. See what that gives us. So there we go. Now we see it. We see it animating live into the positions. So can I get the sensible settings? Sensible settings. Yeah, this is what I want. This is the with the better settings. I don't know why it wasn't working any other way. I'd like that to all happen faster and to stop quicker. So we can do layout stop. What else is available to me? So the type signature of this is graph and then parameters. Now what are the parameters? Settings. Let's do stop the layout after 3 seconds. Good. I mean, that's a I'd like it to just be there. I could always just have that hide behind a loading circle for a few seconds, but it's pretty good. I'm going to remove this header, which is not required. Here we go. So this is getting towards something which is very close to my idea. I've got these. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Now just imagine this being a lot better. And then that's it. That's the idea. We'll have all the industries, have maybe 1,000 more companies. We have some more different colors and connections. Maybe some really high level industry tags and then some more detailed ones for another level of organization. But I think this could be pretty damn cool, and I want to be able to click on a node and see the description of it that I've extracted, get a link to its website and so on. Yeah, very happy with this progress. Now I just want to look at it. Duolingo for education. It's nice. Can imagine automating all of the steps I've done so far. Scrape websites for lists of companies. That's a part which I have done manually. So if you could figure out a way to automate that part, and then that feeds into the language model work we did through Open Playground, leading to the extracted tags that I've used to create this map, and then the rest is just getting a good presentation and good interactivity.